something to out, because Nnamdi Kanu's case for his freedom has entered another level. This is what we'll be covering based on what happened in court today, based on the judgment that Omotosho gave to Nnamdi Kanu in Abuja court today. This has necessitated many people to become worried. Look at what happened. You've last chance to defend yourself, court tells Kanu, Justice James Omotosho. Alleged terrorism. Omotosho has told Kanu, you have last chance to defend yourself. Let's now give you the details. Here in Noble Media, the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja on Wednesday said it would give the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, one last opportunity to defend the 7-count terrorism charge the federal government entered against him. That they are giving him one last chance to defend the 7 counts that Tinubu's government, led by Omowolo and all the rest, are labeling against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Consequently, trial Justice James Omotosho adjourned the case till November 7th. That will be on Friday, for the defendant to open his defense, as he was previously ordered to do so by the court. So the court ordered Nnamdi Kanu to begin to defend himself on the last day, the last final day given to him is Friday, 7th of November 2025. The trial judge warned that he would foreclose Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's right should he fail to enter his defense on the next adjourned date. He said the decision was anchored on tenets of justice that required that the defendant should be granted sufficient opportunity to exonerate himself. And remember that right now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the one representing himself today in court. We here in Noble Media, of course, our correspondents monitored what went on in Abuja, and we were dropping you live updates as it was happening. If you have not seen them, go over to our channel, look at the other videos we've done. He said the decision was anchored on tenets of justice that required that the defendant should be granted sufficient opportunity to exonerate himself. Look at what Omotosho said. We had adjourned till today for the defendant to put in his defense or be deemed closed, but I am bound to give him another opportunity to put in his defense. If you have not liked this video, like this video, and don't forget that we are still urging Tinubu that he still has the time to do the right thing. So you come under the comment of this video and type Tinubu free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now. Tinubu release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now. Omotosho release an innocent man now. If he does not, this is Omotosho talking, I will deem him closed. I know that he is an economist and not a lawyer. I will give the last opportunity to the defendant to put in his defense, failure of which he would be deemed closed. Justice James Omotosho is the one talking. Many people believe that Omotosho is working hand in hand with Tinubu, working hand in hand with Nigerian government to ensure that Nnamdi Kanu doesn't get justice. You come under the comment of this video and type Omotosho, obey the law. Do not be used. Omotosho, don't allow yourself to be used. Release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now. Release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu immediately before it is too late for Nigeria. This development come after Kanu, who is conducting his case by himself after he disengaged his legal team, reaffirmed his position that he had no case to answer. This is even people in America, even people in Nigeria, in Kenya have already stated that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, according to the law, really has no case to answer. The embattled IPOB leader had, after the case was called up, addressed the court from the dock. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself addressed the court, addressed Omotosho directly. He reiterated the reason he elected not to open his defense, insisting that the charge pending against him was invalid, as it was based on what he described as a repealed and non-existent law. As a repealed and non-existent law. And that's what his lawyers, and even Bruce Fein, an American lawyer, even a priest in the United States of America, has already said that looking at the law of Nigeria, looking at the African Charter, that there is no existing law right now that can hold Nnamdi Kanu. Let's move on. Please come under the comment of this video and type Tinubu. Comment, drop it as a comment. Tinubu, don't be a coward releasing Nnamdi Kanu, because many people are saying that Tinubu is afraid of some cabals, maybe cabals in the north, that is why he doesn't want Nnamdi Kanu to be released, that he wants to be sure of his second tenure first before he releases Nnamdi Kanu. Kanu maintained that the Supreme Court had, on the day it okayed his trial, directed that the charge against him should be amended. He said the Apex Court based its decision on the fact that the charge was legally defective. According to the defendant, in disobedience to the Supreme Court's directive, federal government docked him in the same charge without affecting the necessary amendment. This is very critical. Some people have always wondered, why is it that Nigerian government do not obey their own law, do not obey their own constitution? He insisted that the federal government refusal to amend the charge was fatal to his trial, which he said could not be predicated on a repealed law. Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. This is Nnamdi Kanu talking. You can also drop a prayer for Nnamdi Kanu in the comment section. Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act has been repealed. I cannot put in defense under a repealed law. I won't do that, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. On his part, federal government lawyer Chief Adeboyega Amowolo SAN urged the court to go ahead and foreclose Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's defense, but Omotosho refused. The prosecution, that is the people that speak, that the guy is speaking for Nigerian government in order to ensure that Nnamdi Kanu goes to prison. The prosecution counsel drew the attention of the court to the fact that the defendant had wasted 5 out of the 6 days that was slated for his defense. He's saying that Nnamdi Kanu is wasting time. That's what Amowolo is saying, the man representing Tinubu's government. He argued that Kanu's insistence that the charge was defective reflected his conclusive stance not to open his defense as directed. Therefore, federal government lawyer prayed the court to close the defense and other parties to file their final written addresses, a precursor to the delivery of judgment in the matter. However, following Justice Omotosho's intervention, having declared the court's willingness to grant one more adjournment, Kanu asked to be allowed to consult 4 lawyers that hitherto represented him in the case. Kanu asked them, allow me to meet with my lawyers so that I can make a final decision. Remember that there was a time that Barrister Maxwell Opara came out to say that they went to meet with Nnamdi Kanu, and DSS refused them to meet with him against what Justice Omotosho has already directed. He gave names of the lawyers he described as his consultants, and their names are Nnaemeka Ejimako, that is Eli Ejimako, Nnaemeka Ejiofo, that is 1, Aloy Ejimako, that is 2, Maxwell Okpara, that is 3, and Mandela Omeborogo. We must continue. Justice Omotosho, who acceded to the request, however, cautioned the lawyers to refrain from discussing the court proceedings in the media. They don't want Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer to tell us what is going on. They don't even want us, journalists, to be around to show the world what is going on in the court. I wonder what they are hiding. The caution followed the complainant by the prosecution counsel, Amowolo San, that is Senate Advocate of Nigeria, who accused Kanu's former lawyers of granting media interviews and making judicial posts on social media in relation to the case. This guy, it will be recorded that the court had on October 24 ordered the IPOB leader to open his defense to the charge against him. However, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who earlier named several individuals that included 7 governors, ex-ministers, ministers, and security chiefs among the 23 persons he intended to produce as his witnesses, later made a volte-face and shelved his plan to defend the charge. Kanu, who had been in detention since 2021, had initially prayed the court to grant him a 90-day period for the witnesses he described as vital to testify in the matter. Among his earlier proposed witnesses included the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, that of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Minister of Federal Capital Territory, the almighty Nyesom Wike, the immediate past Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, as well as a former Chief of Army Staff, General Tuko Buratai. Others were the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, the immediate past Governor of Abia State, Okezie Ikpeazu, a former Minister of Defense, General Theophilus Danjuma, immediate past former Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, NIA, Ahmed Rufai Abubakar, as well as former Director General of the Department of State Services, DSS, Yusuf Bichi. This is the way it went in court today, and we are following up on the matter. Kanu will be in court on Friday to continue his defense. To decide whether he's entering defense or not. You watching this video, remember to comment, Tinubu, don't be a coward. Release Nnamdi Kanu now. Like this video, share this video, click on join to become a full member of our channel. Most importantly, there's another important video on the screen. Click on it and watch now.